Reflection is observation of one's own development. Reflection is a metacognitive skill for observing one's own understanding. Anyone can learn reflection. The most recent learning theories consider reflection as an important element of learning. In reflection, you study your own beliefs and learning from different angles, using alternative explanation models. A good example of reflection is a learner who, after learning a skill, is capable of assessing the level of his or her performance with the help of the model. Reflection promotes awareness of one's level of skills and knowledge and helps to proportion it to the subject matter being learned. Directed feedback and guidance promote students' awareness of their learning, but they must independently and actively understand their own development. The teacher can enhance reflection by choosing suitable teaching methods. Learning diary. A learning diary is an important reflection tool. It is different from an essay in that a learning diary addresses the learning process, while an essay addresses the content. A learning diary can be an informal tool that supports reflection, or strictly formal, focusing on the learning of particular topics. An informal learning diary enables broader handling of the subject matter. On the other hand, the freedom may cause negative responses or attract students to describe what they have done, instead of what they have learned. Therefore, it is a good idea to direct the compilation of the learning diary with questions, such as how the student's understanding of a particular concept or topic has changed during the course. Mastering these concepts should also be included in the course assessment criteria, that is, teaching and assessment must be in line with each other. When is this teaching method suitable? Reflection is a suitable teaching method to be included in any areas to be learned. How much time and work does this teaching method require? The teacher must learn and internalize the reflection process. It is a good idea for the teacher to reflect on his or her own learning while studying this method. Case. This is an example of practical implementation. Jane teaches psychology at a University of Applied Sciences. She has read a book about reflection. She decides to use reflection on the psychology course she teaches. For this purpose, Jane divides the course into 5 sections according to the topics and theories to be taught. She designs a learning diary-type reflective assignment for the students for each section. The students are expected to turn in the assignment within a week of the end of each section. Jane includes specific assessment criteria in the instructions for the assignments. The criteria are in line with the learning outcomes for each section. The assignments include questions such as what have I learned? What can I do with the knowledge I gained from this section? How have I studied? And how could I improve my studying? As well as topic-specific questions, such as how did you understand the concept of psychoanalysis before the course and how has your understanding of it changed during the course? She omits the final exam altogether and grades the course solely on the basis of these assignments. During the classroom sessions, Jane arranges 10-minute group discussions, chat groups. In these chat groups, students are expected to analyze how the knowledge gained in this course is related to previous courses, what new knowledge they have learned this time and how they could use this knowledge at the workplace in the future. Jane is surprised about the ingenuity of the students' ideas. Some students write their learning diaries in class on the basis of the discussions. Assessment. When assessing the learning diaries, Jane starts wondering whether her students really learn the content of the course or whether the diary entries are only based on the discussions they had in class. What Jane finds particularly challenging in respect of assessment is that some students clearly seem to have a good basic knowledge but their reflection was superficial, while others seem to have started with very little knowledge but their reflection is very in-depth. How would you grade these students? Should a student demonstrate good knowledge or in-depth reflection to get a good grade? According to their feedback, students were happy with the conversational approach, but they found that writing the learning diary was difficult. Some students felt that the learning diary did not measure their skills and knowledge as accurately as an exam. Jane thinks that the probable explanation for this is that neither teachers nor students are used to this method. As a whole, the experience was positive and, on the basis of her personal reflection, Jane decides to arrange feedback discussions also for her next course. She also says that the teacher's own reflection skills still need improvement. In the discussions, she is going to discuss the learning diaries with the students in small groups and explain the grades on the basis of the criteria she specified. Useful tips. Start by reflecting on your own teaching throughout one course. Write down your reflection, so that you can go back to it later. Start easy. A single chat group or a diary related to a less extensive topic are good opportunities to test reflection. Remember to provide the students with clearly defined learning diary assessment criteria, in respect of the assessment of the reflection and content alike. How can the SCOL learning environment be used to support this method? Reflection primarily means working on the learner's own thinking and learning process. You can support the method with SCOL's virtual classroom, through which students can keep their learning diary. In the virtual classroom you can also check when students have written each individual entry. In this way, you can include compliance or non-compliance with the learning diary instructions in your course assessment criteria.